Hi, this is John again for Outstanding Poker. This is going to be a three-part series video, and it's going to be about it's going to be for all the people who have considered or are considering playing poker full time. I will hopefully help you to think about everything that is involved before and after you make that decision. It's going to be some things that you will already know about, and some things that you're perhaps unaware of. And part one will be focusing, and this is part one, it's going to be things to consider before we make the big decision. Part two is going to be about all the things to consider after we've made that decision. And then part three is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be about finding extra edges versus other regular players. And I'm going to provide some information on perhaps dietary information, exercise, nutrition, and even supplements that you can take to perhaps improve our performance. So yeah, chasing the dream. I mean, a lot of people must dream about being an online poker player, especially if you was like me and in a job like engineering. I was kind of in a bit of a dead end job, pretty much going nowhere with that. And the thought of being able to make money from playing a game that I really love playing was, you know, something that I really wanted. And but if I'd have actually stayed in England and played, then there's no way that I'd been able to make enough money to get by, really. I was fortunate enough that I have a Bulgarian wife, and we decided to move over here, and so I could actually focus on playing full time. Because the cost of living over here is a lot cheaper than what it is in England, I don't have to worry about making tons of money just yet, just to get by, break even, or make sure we've got enough options and stuff like that. So I'm quite fortunate in that. I think if you're living in somewhere like England and stuff like that, then you really do need to be playing something like 100 no limit, 200 no limit definitely, and putting in an awful lot of hours and accumulating an awful lot of rate back and making sure you've got tons of money to allow for the times when you go through a horrible swing, horrible downswing. Okay. So why would we want to be a full-time online poker player? Well, obviously there's good money to be made if we are managing to get a win rate going at low or middle stakes, especially high stakes. And if we have a good rate back deal, that's always going to help out in the tough times. We can earn more rate back as well because we're going to be able to play so many more hours. So that's good. And obviously the more hours we play, the more experience we get, the better we're going to get, as long as we actually take the same time out to analyse the hands. That's really important. We have the freedom to be our own boss, so that's one good thing that I find, perhaps when the wife's had a tough day at work and she says she really wants to go out for some food and stuff like that. Well, if I was working in a 9 to 5 job or working engineering where I was working night shifts, then it wouldn't be able to happen. But now I can just say, okay, then I'm not gonna play tonight. I'll make sure I play more hours at the weekend or something like that. It's up to me. So that's one really cool thing to have. There's a bit more freedom there in being your own boss and playing whenever you decide. Also, then you can play when you're feeling totally up for it too. But also, there's a bad thing with that. You can get a little bit slack. You can decide to take a little bit too much time off. You can end up not analysing hands as much as what you should be because you think, oh, it's okay, I'll analyse the hands tomorrow, it's going to be fine then, stuff like that, and then you just never get around to it. So you really have to start setting yourself a proper schedule, writing it down, and sticking to the schedule. That's the hardest thing, because obviously if you don't bother sticking to the schedule, there's only you that perhaps even knows that you're not sticking to the schedule, so it's only you that can have a go at yourself. So you really have to be honest with yourself and set some goals, set some targets, and do your best to stick to them and keep at it. Because you really have to immerse yourself in this game. There's so much to learn. The more you learn, the more you find that there's even more to learn.